Hello friends, welcome back to our serious preparation group, and I welcome all my YouTube subscribers to this particular essay discussion. I have given many of the discussion in our course and we will discuss it further also. In every Sunday I am discussing the essay specially. And for our new YouTube subscribers, we have started the main crash course. If you have not joined it, you can join it by paying 7,500 bucks. You can send me email at abishoyi27@gmail.com. You can also send me email at askabacademy@gmail.com. Friends, I want this particular essay to be there in my YouTube channel specially. And before I start today's discussion, it is going to be a very informative and very powerful discussion specially. And if you are not a student, if you are not appearing any OPSC or UPSC level examination, and if your thinking process is not liberal, please do not watch this particular video specially, because before I start today's discussion, I want to make it crystal clear. I may hurt your religious sentiments, I may hurt your, you can say, your political standpoint, I may hurt your whatever feeling that you are having, but in a educated direction, because whatever I am going to say, it is for the woman empowerment especially. No matter whatever we say, we are living in a 21st century. Still, I personally believe that there are so much of a injustice done to the women folk. All these women, from the time since the days, from the ancient days to till now, they have been suppressed. They have been suppressed for so long, and because of so much of a suppression, people have not rose to that particular potential. Women are having huge potential, but because of large scale suppression, because of stereotyping, because of, you can say, patriarchal mentality of the society, in many of the societies, people have not rose up to that particular level, especially the women. Women, the 50% of our gender belongs to women, and if they are not progressing, automatically a nation's progress, a society's progress will be halted especially. So I personally believe it is time we have to rise above the previous, whatever the prejudices we were having till now, whatever negative gender stereotype we were having till now. We have to move on. We have to move on in a direction of positive direction, not in a negative direction. See what happened to Afghanistan. All those people who came to power in Taliban came to power. Once Taliban came to power, especially many of the citizens, including women are sufferers the most in this particular Taliban takeover, and they are leaving the nation especially. Nobody likes to leave their motherland. I repeat the statement. Nobody likes to leave their motherland, because in search of better life, because in search of better thing for their future generation, people are living. So for that reason only, in Afghanistan case, the society is moving in the negative direction. We as a society, as India, we need to move in a positive direction. For that only, whatever I am going to give is very positive, as well as it is for education purpose. Whatever, before I start today's discussion, let my political motives clear. I am totally neutral. Whatever I will discuss, it is from the education standpoint. Whatever fact, data, discussion, whatever I will be giving, it is totally to educate you, to show you different sides. It is up to you to decide what is better and what is not. So let's start today's discussion. In a particular essay, status of women in India, it's a very important essay. It has been asked in the past, and it's a evergreen essay. Till that time bureaucracy, especially OPSC and UPSC exam is there, this particular essay is evergreen. Not only in the especially from the essay point of view. It can also be asked from general studies perspective in GS paper 1. So it is very, very important. Political science and sociology optional students, especially this particular essay can be very, very important. Many of the political science, sociology and many other things, they can be taking this particular essay and writing essay on this particular topic. Before start today's discussion, I hope you people are following the whatever thing that I have told you till now, that doing the rough work is very, very important. And you can tell the condition of a nation by looking at the status of women. What a wonderful statement by none other than the first Prime Minister of India. You can tell the condition of a nation by looking at the status of women in that particular nation by Jawaharlal Nehru. You can start with this particular quotation. Such a wonderful quotation he has given. I am giving you simple direction. Doesn't mean that you are bound by this particular quotation only. You can use any number of quotation based on women empowerment. You can use that specially. I found this particular helpful in this particular essay, so I used it. So you can, it's a wonderful statement. You can start with this. Then India ranks. Whenever you are writing this particular essay, you need to give as much statistics, as much data as possible, because you need to make the examiner aware that what are the current status of women in various indices, various social status, what are the situation which is they are having right now. So you have to make the examiner clear that whatever India's women in freedom, in terms of women development, in terms of women empowerment, in terms of women participation in political decision making, in terms of women participation in various economic opportunities, all this you need to sum up and you need to give that in your essay. Especially India ranks 140th out of 156 nations World Economic Forum Gender Gap Index. India ranks 140 out of 156. You can imagine the level of gender disparity existing in India. So out of 156 we are only 140. Means we are lying in the bottom in the international stage. 18th in political empowerment index. 18th in political empowerment index. Then 149th in economic participation. India ranks even worse in economic participation. In India, we will be discussing economic status, but Indian woman ranks around 149th in economic empowerment. Then participation, 112th in educational attainment. 112th India is women education. If we will be calculating the worldwide, our position is 112th position. Then you can imagine the 150th in health and survival. In health and survival, Indian woman is having 150th position. You can imagine the level our women in the international, if we will compare in the international scenario where we stand. 11% in Lok Sabha. In current Lok Sabha, by the way, let me know in the comment box which Lok Sabha we are having right now. Then 11% in Lok Sabha and 10.6% in Rajya Sabha. In participation, in women participation, in current Lok Sabha we are having only 11 point. Every Lok Sabha there is an increase. Starting from the first Lok Sabha till date, Indian women participation has increased somewhat, but it has not drastically increased. We know that women constitute half of the society. Still we are lagging far behind. In that particular perspective, I would say women need to be involved in decision making process, especially in policy making framework, especially in Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha. When more and more women will be there in this particular legislature, then only our policy making will become woman friendly. There will be a human face, especially humanitarian outlook in many of the policies, because women are having little bit of more, I would say, in maturity. Women are, this is not my own personal data, but I am giving you whatever the studies have shown. It is said that women in a particular age is far more mature than a man of that particular age. Say for example, a woman of 20 years of age, she will be mature of at least 2 to 3 years more than that of a man. If a man of 24 or 25 will be that much mature, just like a 20 or 21 years of female, especially. It is not my study, it is it is there. It is being psychologically proved also. So, if more and more women are involved in decision making process, it will be more friendly, woman friendly policies will be made in the parliament, and it will be passed to our future generation. So we need more women to participate in our decision making, especially. 7% rise in crimes against women, especially. The women, there are 7 NCRB data, National Crime Record Bureau. National Crime Record Bureau says there is a rise in violence against women, especially 7% rise has done. It is being shown. Then Indian literacy. If you will see the literacy part of status of women in our thing, you will be finding this. In literacy, in 2000, if we will be taking 2011 data, it shows overall literacy is 72.98%, but male literacy, I am giving 2011 data. Male literacy is 80.9% and female literacy is only 64.63%. You can see almost 16% gap is there. So in education especially, see, education is the way in which empowerment can be done. If education is not being done to women, especially, it will be a very terrible situation, because many of the future social problems, just like population explosion, if a educated woman will be there, she will not be having a large family. She will be containing herself to a small family of 1 child or 2 child or 3 child maximum. Because if a woman is not educated, same Jawaharlal Nehru once said that if a woman is educated, then a family is educated. So education is the bedrock of any particular development. Whatever data, whatever thing that I am telling you, it is because if education will not be there in our women, then we will not be progressing at all. So we need more education to women, especially. That is the primary duty of a particular nation and the policy makers, administrator equally, that women needs to be educated even at the cost of men, especially, I am telling you. Because if a society needs to progress, then only the woman, if the woman is progressing, automatically the family, the future generation, everybody will be progressing in that particular direction. But in what is happening in current day times, the patriarchal society, they will be sending their son to the school and daughter to do the household work, especially. They will be saying, "Pad lik ke kya karegi?" And that is the mentality of many of the patriarchal society, especially. So I urge you, the educated folk, even if you make clear the bureaucrat means OS examination or UPSC, even if you don't clear, but have it this particular thing in mind. You need to have this particular thing is women education, women empowerment. That's supposed to be your priority. Even if in your family you need to protect the right as well as the right of especially the women of going to school, learning and trying to expand and trying to express whatever she can. So it is your responsibility being a true and a alert citizen, a dutiful citizen. It is there in our constitution mentioned, respect for women. It is there written in our duties, fundamental duties, part 4A. Then You can see the overall percentage ratio, sex ratio at birth. In especially the 929 out of 1000 male, especially 2011 data. But generally lower than natural standard. Natural standard is 552. 552 female for 1000 male. But the 2011 data shows that in our Indian society it is 929 female out of 1000 male, whereas the natural thing is 952 female for 1000 male. That is the natural thing for a balanced society, especially healthy sex ratio. Then maternal mortality. If you will see in our society, the maternal mortality rate, it shows the terrible condition of our health sector. In our health sector, we have not progressed that much. For that reason only, more than 113 ladies die at the time of childbirth. Maternal mortality rate out of 1 lakh live birth. So it is very terrible situation. We have to improve. Then 15% girls drop out from school. It is showing that nationally there are around 15% girls, they drop out from school, and especially after the pandemic there will be large scale women who will be illiterate. It is time from the political leadership as well as the bureaucracy to spring into action and bring back all those students back from their home to the school, especially post pandemic time, because many of the students, especially the girl child, they will not be coming back to school after the pandemic. It's a big challenge in front of the bureaucrats. Then status as per constitution, success rate, especially if you will see the success rate of women in education, if you will want to see and check, if the women are given an opportunity, they can even overtake the men. It is being proven in the result from CBSE board exam. If you will take out the CBSE board exam, 99.67%. 99.67% is the success rate, whereas the boys' success rate is 99.13%. There is a gap of 0.54%. You can imagine, if the women, especially the girl child, are given the opportunity, they can even overtake the men. But due to our patriarchal mentality, we are suppressing our women, especially the girl child, and not promoting them, not allowing them to freely express themselves, and automatically they are being suppressed. Especially that is happening in our society. Then status as per Constitution of India. What our Constitution says, we have to know that our Constitution gives equal rights. It doesn't distinguish between male or female. They are in the eyes of Constitution, we are citizens only. Right to equality, Article 14. Right against any kind of a discrimination. There cannot be, Article 15 says, there cannot be any discrimination in the name of caste, creed, religion, gender, place, sex and place of birth. All this is mentioned on Article 15. Article 16 says the equal right to opportunity, means in the matter of public employment there cannot be any discrimination. It is mentioned there in Article 16. So all these things, this article, our constitutional maker, they had a visionary thing that whatever historically wrong has been committed to our women, our future generation shouldn't be doing the same. For that reason only, they had the vision to put that in fundamental rights. They knew that if some of our women or girls' rights are being violated, they can approach the court, especially. Then Article 23. What is Article 23? Article 23, it says the right against human trafficking, means right against exploitation. There cannot be human trafficking. In trafficking, what happens? Many of the women are being taken as sex slaves. Not only that, in human trafficking, prostitution, all these things are being done and injustices done to the women especially. So Article 23 is there. Then apart from that, there is another thing called as DPSP. Under DPSP you see there is Article 42. In Article 42, if you will see the Article 42, it says human condition of work and maternity relief, especially maternity leave. In today's time in India, previously it was only 12 weeks off was given for maternity leave. Currently it has been raised to 26 weeks, which is a positive step. I appreciate the government for doing the same. They have I think a year back or 2 years back, they have amended it and they have raised the number of, especially the number of weeks, especially maternity leave. They have increased, and it's a positive. I must appreciate BJP government for this particular work. They have done this particular thing. Then prenatal leave. In prenatal leave also there is a provision of 6 to 8 weeks. If you are not aware, prenatal leave you can also apply prenatal leave. Then Article 243D, 33% reservation. You know, post passage of 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, there is a provision of women participation in panchayat level, panchayat especially. And there is Article 243 subsection D, which says 33%, one third of the seats can be reserved for SC, ST, and even in the SC category there is provision for women reservation. 1/3% of seats will be given to women, and that will be also in the rotation basis. It is not like one particular seat always it will be going to women. It will be in the rotation basis. Then 108 Constitutional Amendment Act, it is pending in Lok Sabha. It is pending in Lok Sabha especially, and especially it is passed by 9th March 2010. What is 108 Constitutional Amendment Act? It is to give 33% reservation in Lok Sabha to women. This particular bill, 108 Constitutional Amendment Act, it is passed by Rajya Sabha in 9 March 2010. I think 9 March 2010, but it is pending in Lok Sabha. So I personally hold both these frontline political parties very much responsible for not passing. Congress didn't pass till 2004, and Modi ji, after he came to power from 2000 I think in 2014 he got 282. Currently he's even got bigger mandate, that is 300, because in UPA they were in a coalition government. I think Modi government, they came in a single party majority. Means Modi's chances of making it is very high, and they are not committed to this particular issue especially. Till the time this particular women reservation issue becomes a frontline issue, a political issue, media is supposed to be debating it. Media is not debating it. Media has become a propagandist media. It shouldn't be happening. You shouldn't become a propaganda of the political party in power. If a particular media, I personally urge all of you not to watch this particular media, because this has become one kind of a propaganda of one party or the other. 80 to 90% of Indian media has sold their souls. Only in developed nation, you will see that media means tough grilling to their president. US president supposed to take press conference every possible date. They will be asking press conference, and you will be seeing heated exchange between president and a reporter. You might have seen in US, because they consider even the most powerful person on earth, the US president, responsible for some kind of a thing of that particular position. But in India, people are not asking why there is no press conference, why people are not asking question about how many COVID deaths are there, what government is doing for raising the unemployment issue, because unemployment is increasing drastically in India, and especially after demonetization it has started a string of unemployment, then GST, then COVID, means it is increasing and we are on a historic high of unemployment, and there is no question in the media. Price is rising rapidly, and there is no question. Automatically you come to know that there is some propaganda going on, and you are, even some people have become part of propaganda. So being an educated and alert citizen, your basic role is to question whosoever may be in power. It is their responsibility to make you inform what policy decision, what thing they are taking for you. And quality of life is not increasing, quality of life is deteriorating day by day. So it is, being an alert citizen is to question data, statistics, fact. These are very, very important. You have to ask. Then in judiciary, if you will see the participation, and not only that, 20 states have already passed a particular legislation by making 50% of women means involved in Panchayati Raj. I would call this a very positive step, and I would commend Odisha government to be a part of this positive direction, that 50% of women in the panchayat, all these Panchayati Raj institution, there can be women specially, and it is there, 20 states have passed. And it is the time for the parliament, and I have seen that many of the parties, especially BJD, then Trinamool Congress, they have given almost 40% of their tickets to women, especially. And Chandrani Murmu, she is the youngest woman MP, and that is from BJD. I am not a big fan of BJD, but I am giving you a hard fact. They have done a wonderful. Nobody knew Chandrani Murmu. BJP has also given women, just like Hema Malini, just like this Kiran Kher and Smriti Irani and Nirmala Sitaraman. All these, they are powerful women. They have a previous background. They are already famous, and all those famous personalities, they have given ticket. But I do not see an unknown face giving a lady. I do not see that particular party. In this particular aspect, I would comment other political parties are better than BJP in this particular aspect, especially because if you will see the total background of many of the prime ministers and their big leaders, you will see the sign of RSS. Whether you may deny it, you may reject it or not, it is your choice, but RSS is having so much of an influence in BJP, no doubt about this. You will not be seeing a woman president in RSS, and you will not be seeing a RSS BJP president, a female BJP president. Now, we can say it is debatable. The Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru's daughter Indira Gandhi became first Prime Minister because she was already a Prime Minister's daughter. It became very easy for her. It is a dynasty. Even if in that sense also, it is being a signal to the future generation. You can still rise up to that particular level. And there is a woman president in particularly Congress. And no matter in UP election which is happening, in order to survive their own party, Congress has made a plank of giving more tickets, around 40% ticket to women, which is a positive step in this particular direction. Why I am telling you positive direction? If this frontline political parties, when a Congress has taken a step, even if it will not be that much effective, but still it will create automatic pressure on the BJP to take something in that particular direction. So even if they are not in that kind of influence to come into power, for that reason only they have taken a particular stand. But in this aspect, I would recommend this particular, even if they are in a dynastic politics, but still they have tried to set the ball rolling for this particular issue, the women empowerment. So it is there. In the judiciary, if you will see that judiciary is having 11.96% in today's time, the status of women in judiciary, if you will see in this particular thing, you will see that only 11.96% out of 677 judges, only 81 judges are only female judges. So I would personally say, recently our Chief Justice of India, N.V. Ramana, he had said such a wonderful thing. He said that why 50% of the judiciary cannot be women, especially. Such a phenomenal vision. If 50% judges will be from the women community, automatically it will influence the other two, that is executive as well as legislature. If one particular organ is saying that why we cannot have 50% of the women, so personally, if he will be able to do that in whatever the term, I think after N.V. Ramana, I think D.Y. Chandrachud, he is in line of becoming the next Chief Justice of India. D.Y. Chandrachud, he is also a very liberal Chief Justice, Justice. So I think in his lines he will also take steps in order to fill the vacancies in that particular aspect. If judiciary will initiate the ball, automatically it will create a pressure on the legislature as well as the executive to take steps in that particular direction. Automatically our society will move in a positive direction, and slowly we will be seeing a positive steps in that particular direction. Economic status. If you will see the economic status of women in economic participation in India, the women participation in 2005, it was having 26% of women were participation in the labor force. They were participating in the labor force in many of the jobs, every kind of a labor force, starting from agriculture jobs to corporate jobs to many of the other jobs, small businesses, labor force participation. They were having 26% in 2005. But if you will see the recent data, that is only 20.3%. Recently we have declined in that particular aspect. If women are not taking employment, automatically our society is downgrading, not going progress in a positive direction. Then landmark judgment. Recently landmark judgment has came in 2020. Last year, a landmark judgment came by Justice D.Y. Chandrachud. I told her that D.Y. Chandrachud in line of becoming the next Chief Justice of India. Then N.V. Nagaratna granted permanent commission PC to women in the combat forces. Especially, this is a long-standing demand of all those officers in the armed forces, especially that the women are not being converted into permanent commission. They are getting only short service commission, and after short service commission they were not getting this particular thing. Post this judgment, the Supreme Court has directed the government as well as army, especially the army, Navy, Air Force, all the three, but specifically to army in combat roles, they were not allowing the women, especially there are certain issues are there. No doubt, I am not saying there are no issues, but the society has to think in this particular direction. If American Israel army, if they are having this kind of a provision that women can participate in many of the combat roles, why not India? India is moving in a democratic society and we are moving in a positive way. Why we shouldn't be adopting some of the best practices which is there in the Western world? We need to go in that particular direction, allow women to participate in the combat role. And we know recently, I think in one of the Cobra battalion from CRPF, totally consisting of entirely of women. And even in our freedom struggle also, Gandhiji supported so much of a woman. When he came to Odisha, Rama Devi, Malti Devi, Sarla Devi, all these women participated actively in politics, and they have contributed significantly. And all this happened because Gandhiji knew the power of women. If he will unlock the power of women, automatically it will recharge so much of a thing. So it is time. Even Subhash Chandra Bose, he had a brigade called the Jhansi Rani Lakshmibai Brigade. So automatically, when big leaders take steps automatically to the rest of the society, if somebody sitting in real high position, if he takes a step in right direction so that the society will move in that particular direction, then the rest of the society, they will also take positive steps in that direction. There is a famous saying that a politician thinks about next election, but a statesman thinks about next generation. It is time for our narrow-minded politician to rise up from the petty politics and think about next generation and give this particular right, especially the women reservation bill which is pending. They are supposed to be passing it with the brute majority. They can, especially. Then armed forces, they have given permanent commission, and Supreme Court had given specific stricture to government as well as army why it is not being implemented till now. There is also a provision of contempt of court. If government will not be taking positive steps, there can be contempt of court proceeding against the officers especially. Then the first woman fighter pilot, Bhavana Kant. If the government, especially the forces, will be taking in a positive direction, just like Air Force. Air Force has done it in combat role. Bhavana Kant, you can give an example. Bhavana Kant has become the first fighter pilot, because fighter pilot being only male driven. Till now it was male driven, but Bhavana Kant has inducted. Bhavana Kant and Avani Chaturvedi, I have not mentioned it. She also joined. Then Mohana Singh is also joined. Then first woman judge, you see, first woman judge was Chief Justice Fatima Bibi in 1989. 1989, first woman. It can be a GK for next 2021 prelim also. Who was the first lady judge elevated to Supreme Court? Justice Fatima Bibi, 1989. It took almost 39 years in judiciary to elevate someone to Supreme Court, especially. So you can imagine, if Supreme Court being such a enlightened body, they have taken so much time. It is time for the legislature too. They are supposed to be also taking positive direction and pass the 108 Constitutional Amendment Act. Then, if you will see the women participation in India, especially the women participation in MNC, that is multinational companies. In multinational companies, what is India's participation, our women participation? Only 25%. 25% of women are there in versus China's 42.9% in multinational companies. And apart from that, there is another percentage, is 39% of senior management positions. In many of the corporations, 39% of in the many senior executive positions in many companies they have there especially. Then 19.14% in senior bureaucracy level, joint secretary level. I got this particular data that 19.4% in senior joint secretary level position women are there. Still there is no female cabinet secretary. In India there is no female cabinet secretary. Nobody has rose up to even chief secretary in many of the states, women. There is no female Chief Justice of India. There is no female Chief Justice of India till now. And I will be totally happy if someday there will be a woman, you can say Army Chief General or a Admiral or a Air Chief Marshal. But it is very difficult, because generally these three forces, they consider themselves as, there is a little bit of patriarchal mentality there, no doubt about this. If we consider them as equal, then automatically they are equal in order to lead also, to lead the forces also. Slowly, being a society, we need to move in that particular direction, give equal rights and responsibilities and duties. I am not saying that they will be given only position. They need to follow the strict criteria too. The women, they also need to fulfill certain kind of a criteria. If they are not fulfilling that criteria, they shouldn't be promoted. It's supposed to be based on merit, not based on gender. Then 39% I had discussed. Then social status. If you will see the social status in our society, there are so much of a violence is there. There is so, I have already given you how much violence it is being 7% rise in violence. If you will go to the some of the northern India, especially Haryana, Punjab, then southern western UP and many of the northern India where education level is low, there is so much of a honor killing. If somebody, some girl marries to a different boy, to a different caste, to a different religion, automatically their family, they are killing them in the name of honor, false honor. It is nothing called false honor. I personally say it is false honor, because if you are killing a particular individual of your family in the name of your caste, your religion, it is nothing sort of a, you can say, nonsense, because those people are not enlightened enough to realize. If somebody is educated, if she is more than 18 years of age and she is able to take her own decision, allow her. Our law permits this, our constitution permits this, and being an administrator, your role is to enforce. If somebody, if some you can say adult member, if they are of a particular age, if the male is of 21 years of age, a female is of 18 years of age, if they want to marry, you supposed to allow them to marry. It is your responsibility. Being a bureaucrat, when you will become, then administration is there. You need to enforce law and order, especially. You need to give them protection, especially. Then social status, honor killing. If you will see the south side, where education level is high, you will not be seeing that kind of a honor killing. You will not be seeing honor killing in Kerala, in Karnataka, in Tamil Nadu. Maybe there one or two or one odd incident can definitely be there, but in a large scale proportion it is happening in North India, where education level is very low. If we have to move as a society, Odisha has to move, we have to move in the direction of Kerala. If you will see the level of education, the women participation in workforce, in every field they are beating, and in shoulder to shoulder they are contributing to the society. Even if in 2019 the COVID fight, the women health minister, George, I think, I do not, I forgot her name. She was the woman. She took the initiative in order to contain the situation of COVID, and especially she was appreciated by WHO, especially. And for the good handling of COVID, the second time the Kerala left government came, and she was not given the position next time, but that's a different matter. But she has, in fact, she has done contributingly wonderful well in that particular sense. So we have to move in that particular direction of highly giving education and empowering women in the direction of Kerala, not in the lines of some north states where women are suppressed and honor killing is the reality. Then educational status, as I have told you that women need education, and we have discussed the current situation of status of education. We need to educate our women, and you have to, being a parent also, you need to be equally treating your children. You, whatever education opportunity you want to give to your son, you have to give equal importance to your daughter too. If you will allow your daughter, then even your daughter can overtake your son's performance. Then women status in sports. If you will see women status in India, India, many women have made India proud, and you see Kanna Malleswari, Mary Kom, Saina Nehwal, PV Sindhu, Sakshi Malik, Mirabai Chanu, Lovelina Borgohain recently concluded Tokyo Olympics. They have made India proud. You can imagine, if they are given, women are given empowerment and encouragement, then automatically they will make India proud. And you see Kalpana Chawla in the field of science. Kalpana Chawla has made India proud by becoming the part of NASA's mission, Columbia mission, and she made India proud. Automatically it shows the kind of a opportunity. If we will promote more and more women just like this, automatically our society will move in that particular direction. Then Status of journalism. In journalism, 14% women are working as women. Especially women are working, just like many of them, you might have seen them in the journalistic field. Only 14% are from the women. Then in beauty contest, this was the sad part. This is a very important part to motivate you, that all the women in our course also, there are so many who can top OS 2020. Many of them are there. So I encourage you to be a part of success story. It is not about only bad stories, but it is up to your duty to rise from the whatever may be the hardship. Every person is getting the hardship, but if you will break the hardship, break the glass ceiling, automatically the society will respect you. Automatically the society will cherish your success. Then Susmita Sen, Aishwarya Rai, Priyanka Chopra, Diana Hayden, Yukta Mukhi, Lara Datta, Manushi Chiller, many of them had made India proud in the international beauty contest. So it is not about only sad stories, it is about some success stories are there in India. So you need to follow. The choice is sometimes yours. The woman talk, I am telling you, that choice is sometimes yours. You have to break the patriarchal mentality and you have to bring good thing, that no, I can also, you have to, sometimes you also have to, because in many of the things I have seen many of the things which are not being justified. Then women in Bollywood also, you will see in singing, Lata Mangeshkar, such a phenomenal singer, she is given Bharat Ratna. Then Shreya Ghoshal in current day, Sunidhi Chauhan, then Neha Kakkar, all these women are such a powerful women. Especially Lata Mangeshkar, nobody has sung a better patriotic song than "A Mere Watan Ke Log." The moment in 1962 war, she sung this particular song, "A Mere Watan Ke Logon, जरा आँख में भर लो पानी, जो शहीद हुए हैं उनकी जरा याद करो कुर्बानी." The moment she sung this particular song, even first Prime Minister of India, Jawaharlal Nehru, cried. I never found even a male voice a better patriotic song than "A Mere Watan Ke Logo," especially. So I hope I have given you some kind of a perspective that in the society, if we want to move ahead, it is automatically the onus lies to us. We being a human, we being an educated young gentleman, we need to promote our women force. Equality needs to be promoted, especially our constitution is telling you the same. And till the time the solutions is passing of this particular bill, 108 constitutional amendment bill, until and unless this particular issue of women reservation in the parliament becomes a political issue, till the time there will not be any action. If it becomes a political issue and becomes a movement, then only slowly it will become a fruitful destination, especially, and it will be passing, and automatically there will be more representation of women in the parliament. Automatically it will be reflecting, and we will be competing with some of the best democracies in the Scandinavian countries, as well as Norway, Sweden, Denmark, then Switzerland. Then we are supposed to be competing with them, that UK, then France, Germany, Angela Merkel, then USA got her first US Vice President, woman Vice President, Kamala Harris. So we need to move in positive direction. So I hope that things are clear. Till the time it becomes a political will is very, very important. Till the time some political will is happening, automatically we will not be able to give the deserved place that women deserve in our society. All women need is respect. I personally respect women. Whosoever interacted with me, I have treated all women with respect. Nobody can tell that Anil Kumar Bishoi has disrespected any woman. Nobody from my classmate till date, I have not disrespected any of the women. That is my, personally I keep on learning, and the more I learn, the more I started respecting. It is all about the kind of a individual you are. Thank you very much. Happy learning.